And I am not against people celebrating Mother's Day and Father's Day. I am not against kids celebrating their parents. However, I try to look into the impact it may have on some kids whose parents are not here to be celebrated, whose parents are not active in their lives. I look at what it may sound like or how it may cause a child to feel when they are in class, they are in school, they are doing all this project for Father's Day, they're doing all these projects for Mother's Day, yet their parents or whoever they're celebrating on this day, their part of their life is not happening. I try to look at the impact this may have on kids. Trust me, this may have a very unintentional, yet painful, sad, grief, feeling of awkwardness, confusion in children, especially those whose parents or whose dad or moms are not active in their lives. Now, I remember one time in Thailand, then I was teaching, it was a grade 4 class. I remember this little boy. He was sad this whole time because remember, the agenda behind this is that the kids should have fun, have memorable things to say about their parents, right? Or even do about their parents, bring just for them to showcase those memorable moments that they had spent together with their parents. In Thailand then, they used to bring like pictures that they've spent, they went to different touristic sites with their dads and their, if his fathers, that they bring pictures with you and your dad and all that. So I remember this one boy, and Mother's Day the same. This one boy, I remember, he looked sad the whole time. And in my head, this is supposed to be something they're celebrating. But remember, I'd always advocated for this thing. Like I felt it to my soul a long time ago, even long before then, the impact that these may have on children, how much it can put them into stress, how much it can give them the feeling of being, stigmatization, how much it might cause them to go into subtle depression. And I saw it live that student was looking so down. And after that, I went and spoke to it with a Thai teacher. I think it was a day after the event. But I noticed that the student was not looking happy, was sick. And the teacher said, no, I think it's because their dad was absent in their life. He was not a very active dad. And then he literally walked out of the family life after he was born. And, so we're looking at that boy's story. This will tell you a whole lot of different things. That's just one student I've mentioned. A lot of kids are going through this. They won't tell you. They're dealing with subtle, depression. They don't tell you. Now they'll be in class and watch their friends celebrate, draw all those pictures of me and my mom went here, my dad and I went here. They're putting all this in Mother's Day, Father's Day. And some of them, not only maybe their parent is not in their life, some of them, their parents left already. Your parents may be gone. What I mean is they're deceased. And a child is in school, whereas there are beautiful words that we can still use to celebrate these parents. There are beautiful words that we can still use to showcase this day. We can use words. How about we start using words like your superheroes day, your super person's day, your guidance day. I don't want to say family day because we already have it, but using that one will not also be wrong. Putting a particular hashtag at Mother's Day, Father's Day, guys, it can cause an unintentional, like I mentioned, pain, depression, feeling of loss, confusion, stress on kids. So keep saying it, keep preaching it, keep advocating for it until it gets to the right table. Now, Father's Day just passed. I'll give you a scenario. It happened where I work, because I work a lot with children. And then we're doing some activities. I'm working for somebody, right? So even though I told them that this is my concern about this kind of thing, but it's just like, this is what it is. Let's move on. Let's do it. So I called those, it's a group of kids who are doing activities for them, and all these fathers, which I clearly do not agree with, that I had no choice because, the voice is not yet there. And then I asked this girl, give me 5 beautiful adjectives to describe your dad. She went, I said, okay, maybe 5 is too much. Let's narrow that down to 3. Then the next thing she asked me, are we making one for mom? I said, oh yes, definitely we're going to make one for mom, but on Mom's Day. We're going to call that Mother's Day. When it comes, and we'll make one for mom. She's like, I'm asking about today. It meant this girl is 5 years old, yeah? She said today. I said, no, today let's just do that. She's like, I'm not doing anything for dad. I said, oh, did dad eat your food? Yes, last night. Just just to trigger a little bit. And she's like, no, I don't know my dad. I don't want to know him. I'm fine without a dad. If you're gonna make for my mom, fine. My mom is cute. My mom is beautiful. She started using all this. Initially, I thought maybe she didn't know these adjectives. She knew them. You see what I mean? So if people have the choice to come to class and then they're celebrating this day, they had a choice to pick who they want to pick to be celebrated, then everybody will feel included. That's the inclusivity we are talking about. Everybody will feel they're part of the journey. As opposed to you are there and then people are happy, yet you are sad that you cannot explain or tell anybody anything you're going through. So keep preaching that good word. Keep telling them out there until it gets to the right tables. Nanga Charlotte here.